Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing something really exciting. We are decoding the exact communication playbook used by the top 1% of CEOs. We're going to explore some highly actionable techniques so you never, ever have your ideas ignored, talked over, or stolen in a meeting again. So if you're ready for your words to carry some serious weight, you are absolutely in the right place. Let's get into it.
Show me, don't tell me. That quote from Cody Sanchez? That's our absolute baseline for today. It is the unapologetic, authoritative rule of top-tier communication. Don't just talk about being competent. You have to prove it instantly with how you carry yourself, how you structure your words, and how you command the room.
All right, let's look at the roadmap. Today we're covering 1. The CEO Communication Playbook. 2. Warmth and competence. 3. Mastering verbal authority. 4. The power of nonverbal cues. 5. Controlling the conversation. And finally, 6. The email self-audit. Our brains love structure, so let's navigate this efficiently.
Section 1. The CEO Communication Playbook. So, our very first pillar is all about how you actually open your mouth. Look, top executives do not waste time on throat-clearing preambles. They aren't setting up a massive winding runway before takeoff. Instead, they speak in headlines.
This brings us to the concept of decisive speech. It means you use clear, direct statements with zero hedging, no kinda or maybe, and absolutely no apologies. And why does this matter? Well, because when you speak decisively and just drop your headline first, you frame the entire conversation. Actually, it makes it virtually impossible for someone else in that meeting to reframe your idea 5 minutes later and take the credit for it.
Let's look at the power of contrast here. Think about this approach. Hey, can I steal a few minutes? Is now a good time? It's a nervous apology, right? The person hearing it immediately thinks, steal my minutes? For what? Where are they going? Now compare that to a decisive approach. I have a problem. I need 30 seconds to get an okay. Boom. It is crisp, it is authoritative, and it completely bypasses all the fluff. If you want a literal cheat code for getting a busy executive's attention, this is the exact formula. 1. What is wrong? 2. Why do they care? And 3. How long will you bother them? For example, the real issue is marketing isn't moving fast enough. We need to replace 2 hires. Can we discuss for no longer than 5 minutes? It's a guaranteed way to get people leaning in instead of tuning out.
Section 2. Warmth and competence. Okay, let's look at the underlying psychology here. Behavioral investigator Vanessa Van Edwards points out that respect isn't actually about being the smartest or even the richest person in the room. It's really about how successfully you balance 2 distinct signals.
And those 2 signals are warmth and competence. Warmth tells people, I'm a friend, you can trust me. Competence tells them, I'm capable, you can rely on me. The faster you can signal both of these traits to an audience, the faster people will genuinely like you, lean in, and ultimately follow your lead.
Let's talk about the physical execution of these traits. A great warmth cue is the slow triple nod. You just do 3 slow nods and then a pause. Studies actually show this makes the other person speak 67% longer because it subconsciously says, I hear you, tell me more. But if you nod incredibly fast, it just signals, okay, hurry up, I'm ready to talk. On the competence side, think about finger steepling. Just lightly pressing your fingertips together on the table shows deep self-assurance and credibility. You really want to mix both of these to be truly effective.
Section 3. Mastering verbal authority. We've covered body language, so let's shift our focus over to word choice. This pillar is all about how to aggressively cut words to add heavy, undeniable weight to your statements.
Consider a vague statement like, we have a plan to increase revenue significantly over the next year. I mean, what does significantly even mean? It's completely open to interpretation. Now look at the authoritative version. We'll double revenue in 12 months. Data plus brevity signals immense confidence. You don't even have to be the smartest person in the room if you just let the hard numbers do the heavy lifting for you.
But here's the thing, numbers alone aren't quite enough, which brings us to a concept called passing through parable. This means combining a compelling story with concrete data to really drive your solution home. Because at the end of the day, humans follow stories, not spreadsheets. Think about trying to give a friend tough advice. Instead of asking a barrage of questions like, are you really going back, Tam? Haven't we learned our lesson? You tell a story. You say, Mary, 6 months ago you called me at midnight crying so hard I could barely understand you. You said you'd never speak to him again, and now you're going back. Narratives are infinitely stickier.
And when you do deliver that data or that story, you want to use the 3-point rule. You present the opportunity, the risk, and the next step. The human brain is totally hardwired to love patterns, specifically patterns of 3. It makes your argument feel incredibly complete, deeply memorable, and highly persuasive, all without overwhelming your listener.
Section 4. The power of nonverbal cues. Next up, we have to align our physical delivery with our words, because let's be honest, even the absolute best, data-backed words will fall completely flat if your body betrays your authority.
So, the crucial point here is mastering what's called the GET framework: gestures, eyes, and tone. You want precise, purposeful hand movements. You want your eyes slightly narrowed to show active analysis. But tone? Man, tone is where most people fail. A weak tone sounds like this. Hi, my name is Cody, and I've worked in marketing for 10 years. That uptalk at the end, it completely kills your credibility. Instead, you drop it 1 octave lower and make it flat. Hi, my name is Cody. I've worked in marketing for 10 years. I'm excited about what we'll do next. Hear the difference? That flat, lower octave commands the room.
And then there's the master pause. This is exactly how you fake authority until you earn it. You deliver a hard truth, something like, I think we all know we aren't talking about the right thing. And then you stop. You just wait. You hold up a single finger if someone tries to jump in, and you keep waiting. Most people will frantically rush to fill that silence, but by holding it, you create this incredible gravity and force everyone to sit in the weight of your words.
Section 5. Controlling the conversation. That level of gravity perfectly sets up our 5th pillar, advanced meeting mastery. This is where true top 1% leaders gracefully handle pushback, uncomfortable truths, and conversational hijack.
At the very heart of this is commanding the frame. The frame is the specific lens through which a conversation is viewed, and whoever controls the frame completely controls the debate. If someone challenges you, you must never, ever resort to a childish, defensive, "No, I disagree." Doing that means you've just accepted their frame and now you're fighting inside it.
Here's how you do it correctly. If someone says, we shouldn't spend the money, losing the frame looks like arguing. No, we should spend it. But commanding the frame looks like this. This isn't about money, it's about survival. You can also dismiss distractions entirely by saying, that's a separate issue, Matt. Let's focus on the core problem. But I have to give a massive warning here. When you do this, strictly avoid those fake, condescending smiles or smirks. If you plaster a fake smile on your face while shutting someone down, the room will viscerally feel your condescension and immediately turn against you. Keep a flat, serious, competent face.
Commanding the frame requires a very specific mindset. You have to project calm certainty. Be the duck, gliding calmly above the water even if you are paddling frantically underneath. And part of this firm certainty means, well, in the top 1% business circles, there is no crying from frustration in business settings. It's seen simply as a signal of emotional deregulation. Next, you have to name the elephant. Call out the obvious, uncomfortable truth that nobody else wants to say. Phase 1 is asking it as a question. Guys, are we missing numbers because our product just isn't good enough? Phase 2 is stating it directly. We are missing numbers because our product isn't good enough. Doing this instantly earns the group's respect, especially if you pregame the meeting to ensure you have an ally ready to back you up.
Section 6. The email self-audit. Let's make this highly actionable and look at a step you can take right now.
I challenge you to literally open your email outbox right now and audit your baseline. Do you lean way too warm or way too competent? Warm words trigger oxytocin. We're talking words like cheers, collaborate, lots of exclamation points, and emojis. Competent words, on the other hand, are things like achieve, results, outcomes, and data. The very best leaders use both, for sure, but they use them like a precise scalpel, not a sledgehammer. Find out where your natural bias is and start deliberately injecting the other side to strike the perfect balance of trust and authority.
And finally, it's time to start replacing your safe, boring questions like, how's everyone feeling today? With dangerous, thought-provoking questions like this one. What's the one risk that could kill this deal? Real leaders don't just talk, they provoke thought. Questions like this prove you actually want the truth, not just the pleasantries. So as you head into your next big meeting, ask yourself, are you ready to command the frame? Keep these tools sharp, and I'll see you in the next explainer.